Hi, I'm Stephanie Hill, Vice President and General Manager at Lockheed Martin, and I'm starting a new 5-minute mentoring video session. At Lockheed Martin, talent development is really important for us. It's a key enabler, and one of the key components of that talent development process is mentoring. And so I thought I would start this series to be able to share some of the questions that I get in the mentoring relationships that I have and some of the answers. And I hope that this will be helpful for you. And I'd also love to hear from you on some of the questions you might have that we can incorporate into later sessions. Thanks so much, and I hope that you will enjoy the series. One of the most common questions I get when I meet people or in a mentoring session is, how do I get another mentor? How do I start a mentoring relationship? So let me go through a couple of the ways to find a mentor. Many companies have formal mentoring programs where they pair a mentor and a mentee based on the developmental needs of that mentee, of that person in the workforce, or student could be, and with a leader or someone else in the organization who has accomplished skill set in the areas of that person's need. The best mentoring relationships really spring from natural relationships of trust, where you know a person or you've seen a person, and you as the mentee, as the prospective mentee, would see someone that has the skills that you need, or you see something special about that person in the organization or outside of the organization that you want to emulate. You know you have a developmental need. How do you approach that person when you're looking there? Because people that you want to have mentor you are generally very, very busy, and so there's often a bit of trepidation about approaching someone for a mentoring relationship, and it can be difficult. I will let you know that many people are open to mentoring. In particular, leaders are open to mentoring to be able to share some of the things that they've learned that might help people who are more junior in their careers be able to grow and develop. So one of the things that I've found that really, really works is to come up with a specific thing that you want to be mentored on. And then once you get into that, most people will give you 15, 20, 30 minutes for one time. And then out of that, there might be something that can grow. What often happens is, let's say you play out that scenario and you engage in that mentoring relationship for that first 30 minutes on that topic, and you really hit it off. That person may be very willing to be a longer-term mentor for you. If they're not able to, what will often happen, especially if they see the potential in you and the need in you, and they see how open you are to feedback, so that you're going to use the mentoring advice that they're giving, they might say, hey, I don't have the time to mentor you, but I know somebody who would be a perfect mentor for you, and then they can help you to get paired. That's very important. And I talked about the mentor being someone who is in a more senior role and the mentee being someone who's perhaps more junior in the organization. Another really important thing for people who are more senior in the organization is to consider reverse mentoring, because one of the hardest things for leaders to do in a business is to keep their pulse on what's happening in their organization. And so having a reverse mentoring relationship can be very good too, and that same process for that more senior person to find their reverse mentor would apply. After you get into the mentoring relationship, it's the mentee's job to drive the relationship. The mentee has to come prepared with questions, with areas of development. The mentor has to be very open and willing to listen, and really has to be open to the feedback that the mentor is providing. As I've talked to a number of people who are very active mentors, they say their best mentoring relationships are when their mentee keeps the appointments that are made. They come in prepared with either a set of questions or a specific concern, and then they follow up with that mentor to let them know how whatever the advice is that was given, how that worked or didn't work, because then they can continue to grow in their relationship and implement new things. So there are many ways to find a mentor. Again, the best ways are when you have that natural relationship, and because you need to have a relationship of trust. And when you get there, you've got to make sure that you're showing up, that you've got things for the mentor to help you with, and that you're following through on those things.